So now we're going to talk about growth mindset. So what actually is a growth mindset? So first of all, let's talk about an example that's going to help us understand that how growth mindset works and what is the importance of having a growth mindset. For example, there are two people who are at the bottom of the stairs and they have to go upstairs in order to get to the point that they are successful, right? So we give them a challenge that you have to go upstairs. So there's a one person who is a physically handicapped, and the other person is actually perfectly fit and is in a very perfect shape. So what's going to happen that one person is afraid of going to the heights of the person who has crippled his mindset that he cannot do that, or he is not capable enough in order to go upstairs. If he goes, something is going to happen. Or the other person is there, he is actually handicapped and he cannot actually walk through by his legs. But what is going to happen that person who might be crippled, he can go upstairs by he might take a bit of time, but he can actually, by having that persistent mindset, he can use his hands and he can go upstairs. On the other hand, the second person who has crippled his mindset, that is the kind of person who actually cannot go upstairs regardless of his being physically fit and perfect. So what is going to happen that person is the person who actually needs help, and he has to go consult a psychologist, or he has to go and develop a growth mindset and a positive mindset in order to go upstairs. So this is a kind of a similar scenario when it comes to, we start sending off our resume, CVs and everything. What we think of is that, okay, I don't have that much experience, or I am not capable enough, or I am not trained that much, or what is the problem that I have that the others don't have. So there are a lot of things that can come up in your mind in order to is going to actually make yourself feel negative about yourself. So this is the importance of the growth mindset, that if you have and you think of in every failure as a point of stepping stone in order to gain some learning from that and move on. So I'm going to talk about another example that of my personal experience as well when it came towards development of a growth mindset, and we'll be talking about other aspects that are going to help you in order to develop a growth mindset shortly. So what happened with me was recently, due to the COVID-19 market, there was a lot of lockdowns going on throughout globally into the world. So what had happened that I, along with my partners, we established a education institution that was mainly focused towards vocational training, that was on hands-on experience, something like that. So what happened due to this COVID-19 situation, we were not able to handle that, and there was a lot of lockdowns going on, and so we started to move towards debt, and we had to shut down our whole business. So what happened that one day I was sitting at night, and my friend was in another country. He called me and he said that what is the current situation going on there. So I told him that we actually had to shut off, unfortunately we had to shut off our business, and and we had a loss of $500,000. So he was a bit shocked. He said, what happened? You lost $500,000 and you are not sad, you're not upset, you seem okay. What happened? How are you all right in this situation? So what happened that he said that there was a mutual friend of us. He had a similar situation, but he had invested far less than what we had did. And when he suffered from this COVID-19 situation and he had to shut off his business, he said he is on drugs right now. And that person is on drugs, and he is like, he has started to make a mess out of his life. So how come you are okay right now? So I had a very simple sentence that came up at that point in my mind, was that there's no loss that I have gained from this. The thing that actually is there, I have gained an experience of $500,000. So I have actually purchased an experience of $500,000, and that was the mindset that I was having, and that was the scenario and situation. And my mind was thinking, I was thinking in my mind that next time if certain situation and pandemic comes in, we have to make sure that we have some contingency planning ahead of time in our mind in terms of handling certain situations or certain natural disasters that are going to occur in the market. So I had that experience, that this is the perspective that I was looking at that loss, and it actually helped me to get a bit more optimistic and positive in life. And I have started to think of something else that might be useful and how we are going to revive that in future. So there is a thing that there is a certain situation, and the situation, for example, there is a certain thing that happened in your life, right? It happened, it was supposed to happen, or it happened, right? So there are different perspectives that you can perceive that using your mindset. For example, in a similar situation you have a loss. One mindset is that you start thinking that why you got that and how you're supposed to improve in future and how you're going to revive that and other aspects there. Another aspect is you start thinking that okay, I have lost everything, I would never come back again, I'm not going to start that something again. Or in a similar scenario that you lose a job, or the other thing is that you actually apply for a job and you don't get that position. You start thinking that okay, I'm not capable enough. Or another thing is that you actually go and talk to the people, or you send an email to kindly give me a feedback that how I'm supposed to improve myself and what are the things that I'm lacking at. And then you are looking at the same situation, same scenario with a different mindset, with a different perspective. So in order to be successful in life, in order to gain that job, that your dream job, and in order to control your emotions, anxiety and fears, you have to make sure that you are going to have a growth mindset in your mind. So for that, either you can use the psychological tricks that we talked about earlier on, or you are going to use certain points and talking to people or getting some therapy as well in order to understand and control your emotions and develop a growth mindset. So by now, at the end of this video, we have attached a pro forma that you can fill in. It's just for your self growth and assessment in terms of what current emotions that you're feeling and what are the points that are actually positive or negative that are going currently in your life and how you can improve that. So in this section that we have attached that, so what you can do is using that resource you can assess yourself. So if you would like, you can actually talk about that in discussions as well, what is going on and how you are supposed to improve and what are the things that are actually bothering you. And there might be people across the globe that are enrolled in this course and that would be in a position to actually guide you, or I might be in a position to give you some tips that might be helpful for you. So that is a pro forma that is totally for your own self-assessment, and that might actually help you to develop a growth mindset. So we'll be using that as well, and we'll be carrying on with our next topic, that is of developing a professional resume and CV understanding job as well.